Indeed. Jonathan Hemus joins us now then, crisis management expert from Insignia Communications. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Tony.
Just let's focus on that issue to begin with. Would you advise Lord Rennard to appear in public?
I think at the moment it is a difficult position for him, and I'm sure he will choose his time to do that. But as Ross was saying earlier, I think in many ways it's a bigger issue for the reputation of the Lib Dems, and it's a real test of Nick Clegg's leadership.
And what do you make of this quote from him calling journalists self-appointed detectives that the Mail have taken umbrage with on the front page in the morning?
I think it's an interesting strategy and not one that I would recommend. You need as many friends as you can possibly find in a crisis, and so criticising a particularly powerful group of people, journalists, the media, is probably not the most sensible thing to be doing at the moment.
Yeah, again quoted on the front page of the Mail tomorrow, it says Clegg's remarks have been called ill-judged, really, by Labour and Tory MPs who said he should focus on getting to the truth. Is that what you'd have advised him to do? What would you say to Nick Clegg? Would you advise him perhaps to pull back like Lord Rennard?
Well, I think effective crisis management is really about three things. It's about stopping the crisis happening in the first place, and clearly the culture within the Lib Dems has not allowed that to happen. Secondly, it's about taking swift and decisive action, and one would question whether that has happened. And then thirdly, absolutely, it is about communicating more effectively, and there's been lots of communication from the Lib Dems, but I think it's not been very effective so far. In fact, rather than making the situation better, I think much of the communication has actually made the situation worse.
And the Lib Dems have slumped to a historic low poll rating of around 8%. The Eastleigh by-election comes up this week. Well, ought the Lib Dems to concentrate on separating politics from this? Because it's a very sensitive issue, isn't it? Surely it would be a misjudgment to focus on the political fallout from this rather than the human fallout.
Absolutely, but they almost have no choice but to focus on it. They can't pretend it's not happening. So the option is either to manage the situation proactively and get on top of it and get in front of it, or allow it to manage you. And it seems to be more the latter at the moment, with the party reacting to events rather than driving them. A crisis is a time for leadership, and some leaders come out of that actually with their reputations enhanced. But of course, it can also be a very dangerous time for a leader, and I think Nick Clegg is clearly experiencing that at the moment.
He is. It's difficult times for him. As we've said tonight, the Daily Mail is taking him on tomorrow's front page. Jonathan Hemus, thank you very much indeed. Just a quick reminder of that front page. The strapline is: furious Liberal leader calls journalists self-appointed detectives for exposing scandal he and his party covered up, and their main headline says it's called a free press for a reason, Mr. Clegg. This one won't go away. I'm sure we'll be discussing it as the week goes on. It's 10:40.